Owain, first of all, we can look back at last weekend, another terrific victory at Kilmarnock this time.
It was, yeah. It was a hard-fought match, especially towards the end. Kilmarnock were down to 10 men, but looking on, it quite easily could have looked as if we were the ones with 10 men. They sort of made it difficult and created a couple of chances towards the end. Probably the week that we just had caught up with us a little bit, but I think it shows sort of the character within the team and the squad. That we hold on and win that game, whereas probably in the past maybe we would have conceded late on.
What a great feeling it was to come away from Rugby Park knowing you won the game and you're up to third in the SPL. But I think the manager said last week one of these key things was, the club hasn't achieved anything yet, keep the feet on the ground. Is that the kind of message this week?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a quick look at the league table sort of spells it out for us quite clearly. It's very close, and if our standards drop, we can quite easily drop sort of 5-6 places in the league. So we've got to keep going. We're playing some really good stuff at the moment. We've had a sort of a full week of training before this Hearts match on Saturday to freshen up a little bit after what was a tough week last week. And yeah, just make sure we're ready to go again and put Hearts under pressure. As any game, what you come to expect in an SPL is a competitive match. But we just hope that our side can keep going with the form that we've been showing, and if we do that, we've got a great chance of winning the game. This
season's SPL really has been competitive so far. It really has been a kind of breath of fresh air for Caledonian Thistle, and also Scottish football as well. It's really a tight league, very difficult to predict.
It is, yeah, and I think with how well Celtic are doing in the Champions League, it's sort of putting Scottish football a little bit on the map again. It's good to see some positives in the media about sort of clubs in the SPL, but from our point of view, I think Celtic doing so well in the Champions League, it's very difficult to take that form into the SPL. Their sort of main focus this season probably is to make sure they get into the last 16 of the Champions League, and with that, Celtic also drop points, which has been the case thus far. It means we're not too far behind them, but yeah, all we can do is keep going, keep playing well as possible. We'll always make it difficult for teams.
Hearts next up on Saturday, a club who are in the headlines for all the wrong reasons over the last 24 hours. Again, difficult for players. I mean, the Hearts players will be going into the game not really knowing about their own future. Can you sympathise with that?
Of course, it's tough. I mean, if you sign for a football club, you don't tend to look at sort of their financial side of things, and if you sign a 1, 2, 3 year contract, you're assuming you're going to get your money for the duration of that contract. So when it doesn't come in, it gets difficult, and it can go sort of one of two ways when situations like that happen. That tends to be the case. The players can fold a little bit, or they can really get together and sort of start really scrapping for one another. We've got to make sure it's not the latter on Saturday. But yeah, it's been something that's been ongoing. It seems it's been ongoing for Hearts for a long time. It certainly can't be easy for their players.
Yeah, they've had wages problems before, and it tends to be when the wages don't get paid, they always perform on the Saturday. They'll come out fighting, like you say. So you'll have to be wary of that. But you know that you can play some good stuff on the day as well.
Absolutely, we're a threat to anybody. That's for sure. But if our standards drop, we'll get punished. Whoever we're playing. If we're playing against Celtic, if we're playing against Dundee or Hearts, in this league you've just got to sort of stick to your basics, do the basics well, and when you've got some players like we have in our side who can sort of score goals and be a threat to anybody, you've always got a chance.
Yeah, going forward, the guys have been grabbing the headlines. Your Andrew Shinnies and Billy Mackay's, and speaking to Antonio at the defence, and perhaps yourself and Ross in the midfield as well. But I mean, you don't care about praise whatever as long as the team is doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. It means nothing. I don't sort of read the papers and stuff like that anyway, so don't go on the online forums and stuff like that. I learned a long time ago that that's a recipe for disaster. So if the boys are getting plaudits, they deserve them. It's not an easy thing to score in football games, and as long as the boys keep chipping in, we'll be more than happy to do the dirty work behind them and sort of keep winning the ball back. And as soon as we release the ball to those boys, at the moment certainly we've got it in our heads something's going to happen, and that's a good thing. We're really working well as a team at the moment, and whoever comes into the team, there hasn't been drastic changes this season, which is I think that's why we're seeing the sort of pick up in results. But whoever does come in when there's a suspension or an injury, everybody seems to know their role very well.
I don't want to curse it, but it seems like every game you're confident you'll score. Going forward, Caledonian Thistle always create something, and again it's been I heard a manager say it at the weekend about the club winning so many penalties, but you're in those positions, you're going to win penalties and create chances because you're in the more forward-thinking positions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look back at this season so far, any penalties we've had, there's been no debate over a dive or over anything like that. They've all been penalties, so the ref, all he can do is give it. If it's a foul, it's a foul. So, if we've got attacking players who go at defenders with pace and good control of the ball, like Andy does, Aaron Doran, Billy the same, the defenders are going to sort of get caught in two minds and go into rash challenges, if you like. But yeah, we've scored in every game so far. Hopefully it'll carry on. Inevitably somewhere maybe that will come to an end, but as long as it keeps going right now, we're going to keep enjoying it.
And just finally looking ahead to that League Cup semi-final draw this afternoon, who are you hoping for or hoping to avoid, or are you not bothered too much?
Not thinking about it too much. That's the honest truth. It's a long way away. There's pros and cons there to sort of getting all the teams. Obviously, in terms of a chance of progressing to the final, you would rather sing There Are No Hearts, but the opportunity to play against Celtic at Hampden is something that wouldn't come about too often. So, whatever happens, it's going to be a special day for the club. It's something that the boys can be proud of, that they have created history for this football club in getting to the semi-final. But yeah, as I said, it's still a long way away.
Cheers, Owain. Thanks for your time.
No problem.